How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to my FIFA 17 Fulham career mode. This is now episode 28, I'm going to say. So heading towards the 30 episodes of career mode, which is pretty awesome. We'll definitely get those out probably this week, to be quite honest. Excuse me. So just before we jump into today's episode, a couple of things I want to mention. Three things, in fact, I would like to mention. Number one is thank you for the support over the past couple of episodes. Some of your comments have just been superb, and I do actually really appreciate it. Whether I respond or not to them, I do take them all in, and yeah, it definitely gives me the sort of what do you call it? Don't know what it is called, but you know, wanting to carry on and make more videos, which is really awesome, and I'm sure you guys will enjoy that. So there's more support you show, the more videos, of course, we will bang. And in relation to that, I'm going to be, and this is point number two, I'm going to be recording a couple of episodes in advance, just so that I'm basically trying to get some daily uploads for the next couple of weeks or so, perhaps the next 3 or so weeks. And to help with that, I will record 2 or 3 episodes in one sitting. So, leading on to point number 3, basically, if you do make a comment, like I said, I do try and read everybody's comments, and I try and address them in the video if they need addressing, or, you know, relate back to them. So, if you make a comment and it doesn't get directly addressed in the following episode, that's because I haven't seen it, because I've recorded 3 episodes or 2 episodes in advance. But keep the comments coming, I will address them, and I'll probably mention them a few episodes down the line. So if you're wondering, but hey, I commented that like 2 episodes ago, then that is why, because I wouldn't have seen them just yet. So that's enough for me. I'm going to try and stop rambling now, and we're going to jump into some action, and we have a quick training session to do. A lot of you guys have obviously been wanting me to change up the training sessions as well, but I'm kind of happy with what we're doing at the minute. And what we'll do is I think we'll take a view after January, and we'll maybe do some more training sessions. It's really weird. I always find the training sessions really interesting, but I think it's a good thing. But then I always just get bored, and I'm a bit lazy, to be quite honest, and I just load previous session because it's so much easier, and end up just training the same players in the same stats, which isn't necessarily a bad thing for those players, but 5 players out of about the 30 that we have in the club is probably not that beneficial way of doing it. So we'll change it up after January, after we've potentially sold and bought in some new players. Of course, that is still an issue. We're going to take a quick look as well. Odoy wants to discuss his wages. Money is a big issue for us at the minute, but we'll work on that. Oh, okay. Sign 4 youth players to the senior team in the same season they were scouted. Play them in 20 matches, either as part of the starting 11 or coming on as a sub. That's quite impressive, man. Within 2 seasons, grow 3 youth academy players. Okay, we haven't hit that, and that's my bad. We've almost gained 14 million earnings from t-shirt sales, which is nice. Financially, they want us to finish the season with 2.5 million unspent allocated funds. We currently have 175,000. That's going to be interesting. Domestic is finished mid-table. We're currently 3rd, and they want us to reach the round of 32 of the FA Cup, which we haven't started yet, so that's all good. And of course, no continental success. So my manager rating is down at 59, but it's been like that for a while. I think that doesn't work too well, in my opinion. But I think it's mainly the money which is an issue, and of course, youth players, which we haven't really invested in. But hey ho, what do you do? Something we can address perhaps in the next season if necessary. So Sobi, of course, picked up an injury in the last episode. It was only out for 9 days, and he is actually eligible to play. But I'll tell you what, we'll rest him. And Saka, who could be moving on from us in January, we'll give him a spot on the bench, and maybe this could be one of his last appearances that he makes for us, which would be a shame. But hey, we need the money. We need to start raising some money. So, I've just thought of another comment that I wanted to address, which I totally forgot to do, but we'll jump into the game against Southampton, and we'll go and talk about it afterwards, because I want to be back in the menu screens to talk about it. So, let's jump into this game. Hopefully, we can continue this fantastic run of form. Hosbed, of course, in top scoring form for us. And we've been picking up 3 points left and right, a couple of draws here and there, but we haven't lost in a while, so let's continue that good run of form against Southampton. And that then does, of course, mean we are live from St Mary's for this opening fixture. Southampton, a very good side, but like I said earlier, we, of course, are in great form. So, hopefully we can continue that form and pick up another 3 points here today. We'll take a quick look at the Southampton lineup to see, hopefully they haven't played a second team like everybody seems to. They are down in 19th, of course, struggling with only 2 wins this season. 12 points from their opening 14 games, which isn't good for Southampton. I expect them to be finishing in the top half, to be quite honest, but we belong in the top half of the minute. We are currently sat in third, which is above all of our expectations. So let's have a look at the Southampton lineup. They are also the lowest scoring team, and I think we're probably still defensively have the best record. So I can't see Southampton really picking themselves a goal here. I'll be disappointed if they do, to be honest. Although we are away from home, so perhaps we will concede the odd goal. But hopefully not. We could pick up another clean sheet. Donnarumma has been fantastic for us in net this season. So finally, the Southampton lineup then. Jack Stevens is the captain again. Connor Wickham starts up front. Interesting. But look at the bench. Forster, Nastasic, Ward-Prowse, Austin, Van Dijk, Davies and Losadia. Now, I don't understand this, but it does seem like, for whatever reason, teams are throwing out their second side against us, and if that's their starting lineup, that's why they're in 19th. So, interesting times at Southampton. As we take a look at our lineup, pretty standard really. Sigurdsson still rocking in the defence. Just the one change then, and it's Floyd Ayite who comes back into the starting lineup of course, so we picked up that knock in the last episode. Lansbury is also back in the team. Not been overly impressed with him, but he's not been doing too bad for us. And so this is Sobi's chance. This is Ayite's chance now to try and get his way back into the starting lineup. He of course lost it when he got injured, and now it's kind of like vice versa. Although Sobi will be back for the next game probably, unless Ayite puts in a performance for us here. And first of all, he plays a nice pass to Hozabed, which has started at counter-attack, following from a 1-2. Here is Lansbury. Can he give it back to Ayite? Sorry, to Hozabed. He tried to, but Hozabed decided to stop running, and Taylor will quite easily pick that one up. It's a nice build-up play. Here's Aluko. Slides that one into Tom Kearney, and Kearney can get his shot away he can. And early on here on the South Coast, we can pick up a huge goal for us. 15 minutes in, then we've definitely been the most dominant team so far in this opening sort of quarter of the match. There is Aluko picking up an assist. Nobody was marking Kearney, and we know he can score goals from that position, and score indeed he does. Beautiful effort on his right foot over into the top left-hand side of the goal. I accidentally skipped there. Not sure how many goals Kearney's got for us, but he's got another goal for us here today. And we're 1-0 up nice and early on. We should now be in a position to control the game. Nice turn and nice control. And can he get the ball out of his feet? He can. Eventually finds Hozabed, who turns his man. And Hozabed scores his... Is that his 7th in 4 games, if I'm not mistaken? You just can't stop him from scoring. And we are absolutely running riot here against Southampton. Beautiful play by Ayite. Plays it into what looked like Aluko should be picking that one up, but Aluko leaves it. I think that's Cabano actually, number 7 there. That is Cabano. He actually leaves it because Hozabed, who's just going to be picking up balls in that position, he's going to be tucking them away all day long. And very similar to Kearney's goal, it's 2-0 here. And that is his 8th goal of the Premier League, which I do believe it's 7 in 4 for him now. He got a hat-trick. He got 2, he got 2, he then got 1. 3, 4, 5, 6. Or something, I don't know, I can't remember. No, because that would be 8 goals. It's definitely, I think it's definitely 7 in 4. Cedric, still Gallagher. 3 minutes added on then. Will Southampton get anything? They won't, because that was a poor cross. Donnarumma to throw it out. And referee will say that that is half time. So, fantastic start to this half down here at St Mary's. Southampton haven't really turned up, to be quite honest. They're struggling in the league, down in 19th, and based on that performance, I can actually tell. Well, I can see why. So we're very dominant in the first half. Hozabed opens the scoring to carry on his fantastic run of force. Sorry, Kenny it was who opened the scoring, and Hozabed doubled it to make it 2. We go into half time, then Southampton 0, Fulham 2. Some other games being played around the grounds. Another Sunday game, which means there's no actually live kickoffs. Liverpool, Reading, Swansea, and Aston Villa. I'm not going to make any substitutions, and neither are Southampton by the looks of things, which is interesting. I think if I was the Southampton boss, I'd have potentially made a substitution by now. But each to their own. Reed. Here's Gallagher takes a shot. Not the best of efforts, but Southampton looking a little bit livelier in the second half. They've had the first real opportunity of the half. Let's see what their substitution is. So Bainer comes on. James Ward-Prowse comes on. Of course, Bainer comes off, so that's a better substitution. A little bit more of an attacking threat here by Southampton. We've got a free kick that we've got a decent position for. Lansbury, I think, is going to try and float this one in. Not too much power on it. Just float it. It's not bad. Cabana, of course, wins the header because he just wins every header by the things. But Southampton are able to defend it and clear it away. Although, Ream, who's still forward here. Oh, and he finally gets a shot away. Played a nice little 1-2 with Aluko. Got a lucky bounce, I think, on it to win the ball back before the 1-2, just here. Oh, he stuck a little foot in, which kind of passes it to Aluko. Carries on his run, plays it back. But Ream, all the way from centre-back, don't expect him to hit the target, and unfortunately for us, he didn't. So, another substitution then by Southampton. We'll make ours in a minute. Charlie Austin now comes onto the field to play. About time. Probably about 63 minutes too late, to be quite honest. I'd have started Charlie Austin, personally. But there you go. He could be an attacking threat now, depending on what happens. Oh, brutally intercepted by Cabano. Hozabed sets through Aluko, and Aluko could be away here. Can he grab himself a goal? He's just overstepped it a little bit. Easy save for Taylor in the end. We, of course, we have a nice home game against Stoke. That's going to be tough. Stoke, a very good side, but ball goes out of play here. So, with just 10 or so minutes to go, we'll make a triple substitution. We're going to give Sacco a game, because not on the right-hand side. We're going to rest Kearney. We'll bring Aite back into the mix. And then I want to bring Parker on for Cabano. And I want to bring Iheanacho on for Aluko. Just rest a couple of players. This game's all but over here. 3 points are as good as ours, so we can use this time to rotate a little bit. Davis just decides not to shoot. He was in plenty of space, didn't fancy the opportunity, and it's caused us for us to go out and counter-attack here. And that's going to be thanks to Iheanacho. What a great run that is. The support in the box hits. Ah, it's a poor ball. Hozabed had so much time for his second goal, but it doesn't matter in the end because referee calls for full time. So a solid performance in the first half saw this game out for us. No real opportunities in the second half, but we just held on to take all 3 points here. Goals from Kearney and Hozabed, who continues his good run of form, means that we continue ours, and another 3 points have been picked up here. It's finished Southampton 0, Fulham 2. So then, of course, Liverpool, Reading, Swansea and Villa. The game's still not yet been played here on the Sunday afternoon in December. We shall move on forward. And so before we move on, I wanted that other comment that I want to address really quickly. And it's quite funny, actually. This is one of the reasons why I want to point this out particularly. I was playing some Ultimate Team and I was using Isaac's Success in my team because of the tournament required you to use a few silver players. So I had success. And as I was playing with him, I thought to myself, he would actually fit quite nicely in at Fulham. Now he's a striker here, but plays right wing for Watford mainly, and his right wing card on Ultimate Team as well. Obviously, he started out probably life as a striker here on FIFA, or it got updated that way for some reason. So yeah, I thought he'd make a good signing for us at Fulham. And then, no, this is no word of a lie either. About 10 minutes or later, somebody actually commented and said maybe try and sign Isaac Success. So you know, I'm a big believer in fate, and I think he's somebody that we need to start looking at. I didn't. So we've added him to the shortlist, and we shall have a look at him. We don't know much about him at the moment, which is a little bit unfortunate. I was trying to find out how much he was going to cost us, but he's a very good player, Isaac Success. He's got a lot of potential as well, only very young. 6 foot as well, and very pacey, which is interesting for a big man like that. So definitely look to be signing him, but like I keep mentioning, money is a little bit of an issue for us as Donnarumma ranks up again in his goalkeeping position now at 79. He's got some incredible stats, has Donnarumma. That's a steal, that is. I think we signed him permanently as well, so we could actually sell him and make a lot of money off him, but I don't want to do that because he's been probably one of our keys to success this season. So why would you want to try and sign him? So we're approaching January, and we'll look at moving Sacco on. I will actually add him to the transfer list just before we get to January. Wales have offered me a job, that'd be interesting, but I don't want to take up the time with that. So, but today is now, and we shall move on to our next home game against Stoke City. The lineup, I think Sobi probably comes back into it. Aite didn't really impress me that much. Hozabed's looking a little bit tired, and whilst I want him on the pitch to score goals, I don't want him on the pitch to get injured. So, he's going to have a break. And I tell you what, we're going to switch things up here a little bit. We're going to go back to a standard 4-4-2. Don't play 4-4-2 a lot, and we're going to go with Aluko and Iheanacho up front. And I'm going to switch Kearney there, and Lansbury and you there. The rest of the team will remain the same. Hosbed, of course, will remain on the bench. We don't really have any other players to bring on as a striker, so we'll switch the formations back if we want to take one of the strikers off. So that's going to be the team against Stoke City. Let's jump into the game. So here we are then, back at Craven Cottage following that trip, successful trip to Southampton, where we were able to pick up a good 2-0 victory. This is going to be a little bit of a different game because Stoke City are a very good side all round, and particularly at home, but fortunately we have the home advantage here, so that is nice. But we've gone for a change in formation here, mixing it up a little bit against Stoke. Let's see if Stoke can counteract that and deal with the change in tactics. It looks like Shaqiri is getting a start, which is good for us because we get to play against some big boys. We're up there in second. Stoke also doing well in 8th place. They've won 6 games, we've won 8, so they're not really that far off us in terms of pace in the Premier League. We'll take a look up at the lineups momentarily here. Of course, there is Sparky, a very good manager himself, and Stoke, like I said, a very good team. So the Fulham lineup then is the change in formation, switch it to a 4-4-2, and that allows Iheanacho and Aluko to partner up Sal's. Hosbed, who's been absolutely fantastic for us, I just want to sit him out for this game, likely to make an appearance because. But if we score early on and we're in control at half time, probably won't look to bring him on. Just don't want to risk him being overplayed and getting injured, because as we know in this series, we get a lot of injuries that we have to deal with. So trying to maintain that the best that we can, and that means that Salzbed has to sit on the bench for the game. That's how it is. So Phil Bardsley in at defence, Glenn Johnson, Shaqiri, Whelan, Arnautovic and Mamadou. Good side. Butland, Shawcross, Muller, Ayew, Munaisa, Afellay and Wilson on the bench. So again, it's another strong bench, but it's also a good strong starting lineup. So interestingly from Stoke, particularly like how Everton was, who gave us the run around a little bit, we could struggle here as well. Everton, of course, we did manage to pick up a point, and I'll be happy for another point here today. Of course, we'll be much happier with all 3, but a point will also be good enough for us. So let's see how we get on. Sobi then, good run being made by Odoi. Odoi, can he provide a cross? He can't, because Shaqiri with a good tackle. We win ourselves a corner though, Sobi will take. Good ball in, and Aluko isn't quite there. Arnautovic wins the header. Kearney picks up the loose ball, plays out to Lansbury just outside the area. Lansbury takes a shot. Good save by Haugaard. But nearly loses it to Arnautovic. In fact, he has lost it to Arnautovic. And Arnautovic comes away with it. And that's a nice ball into Juve. And an opportunity here for Stoke. Turns inside him. Juve with the first time effort. And a fantastic finish by him. And like I said, guys, we could struggle here against Stoke. And Maran Biram Juve has put them ahead here inside 22 minutes. It was Aluko and Arnautovic fighting for the ball eventually. Arnautovic won the battle. And his ball through to Diouf was incredible, to be fair. And Diouf was very good in front of goal. Turned the defender, created the space for him, and the shot was on the inside post. You could have expected Donnarumma to do a little bit better. There it is, and I'm not too sure about who that was defending on him. I think that was Rematch, and the other player that stepped forward just allowed him the space, but hit it right up against that post. But like, you know, Donnarumma probably could have got a little bit of a hand to it. He does hit the post, which is a little bit lucky to take it in, but that is what it is. Stoke lead here, 1-0. Defender was able to get that one away. That was a good opportunity there to get something back, but Sobi's powering forward here, back from injury. He plays in Lansbury. Still, Lansbury's going to go alone here. Good shot, good save by Haugaard. Again, he's been good for Stoke so far. Cabano with the corner. Need to take him off corner still, but it's a good corner. Ooh, was it Bardsley who got it away? I think. Beat my man. He looks like he did. Looks like it's going to be another corner. So we'll switch it up to let Kearney take it. Kearney can whip it in. This time Reema's there, just gets a little bit under it, and I think that's going to go out for a goal kick. It is a little bit unfortunate there. 10 minutes to go to half time, still down 1-0 here. And, well, he wastes so much time that the referee says that's enough and calls for half time. So a little bit disappointing there. The change in tactics, change in formation have been countered by Stoke, who are always going to be tough, home or away. And thanks to a good pass by somebody, can't quite remember who it was, but allowed Juve, I think it was Arnautovic even, allowed Juve to get in here, and in the 23rd minute he put Stoke ahead, and that's how it finishes at half time. Fulham 0, Stoke 1. So there's some other results, other games being played then at half time. It's Aston Villa 0, West Bromwich Albion 1, Palace lead 1-0 at Burnley, Leicester losing 1-0 to Swansea, Liverpool and United are level, as are Sunderland and Chelsea. And we're going to make the change. We're going to go back to our usual 4-4. Yes, 4-4-1-1 as our standard. That is the formation I usually play, is it not? It looks like it. And it's going to be Iheanacho who makes way, I think. And I've got to bring Hozabed on because we need to score. So we're going to go back to what was working for us. Probably my mistake of mixing up a little bit there, but thought we'd try something a little bit different. Hasn't paid off for us, but we've now got the opportunity to rectify that. 45 minutes still to go here, only 1-0 down. I don't know what for, ref. Come off it. They're going to make another substitution, as are we. I think we're going to bring McDonald in. Oh, Aite. We're going to bring Aite into the frame. Sobe's not done too great. We need to just a little injection of pace here. Try and create something. Goal scorer Diouf is off. It was a fantastic run from Glenn Johnson, to be fair to him. Referee's adding on 3 minutes and we have the ball. This is it. Cabano. He plays it through to Aluko. Not looked great in front of goal. Cabano. Space for Kenny. Oh, what a fantastic save. Wasn't the best of efforts by Kenny. And that was the last opportunity of the game. And unfortunately, it's a very, very sad time here in Fulham. The run of form has come to an end. We've gone on such a good unbeaten streak. But that man there, Shaqiri, Arnautovic, Diouf, were just outclassed today. We had the very good opportunity at the end, Kenny, but a fantastic save. It wasn't the best of efforts, to be fair, from Kenny. But a good save as well, nevertheless, by the goalkeeper with the last effort of the game. So thanks to Diouf's first half strike, Stoke City take the spoils here. Finished at full time, Fulham 0, Stoke City 1. And yeah, you can just see by the match facts there, Stoke only ended up having 3 shots and 2 on target. We had 5 and 4 on target, but the possession, about 58 to 42. It's not often I get outplayed as much as that, but there it was today. Palace eventually beat Burnley 2-1. Swansea won 2-0. Chelsea, Sunderland were held to a draw. They're at the top of the table, so it's not too bad for us, the fact that we lost there. It means we haven't lost too much pace. We, of course, have lost a little bit, but there we go. No emails to deal with. One training session to deal with. And that will end today's episode. So only 3 points from today's episode. That's our worst episode for a while, but still a good episode in my opinion. Not happy to lose to Stoke and the run of form's come to an end. I'm just going to quickly check the news to see if it tells us what the run of form was. Doesn't seem to want to say. So there you go. A couple of players in the team of the week, which interestingly enough. So yeah, it's not going to tell us what the run of form comes in at, but there you go. That's a shame, never mind. I was quite interested to know. Actually, we could go back and have a look, but it doesn't matter nevertheless. So that's going to be where we leave today's episode. Of course, we take a look at the league table. Chelsea remain top despite that draw to Sunderland. They are still 2 points clear. Spurs are into second place. We're still holding on to third though, despite that loss at Stoke City on 28 points. Only 1 off Spurs. United are now level with us and 1 behind us on goal difference, so very tight for that third spot. Sunderland, who had a good run at the start of the season, just slipping slightly. Held to the 0-0 draw, of course, at Chelsea, keeps them 5th. West Ham are in 6th. That win for Stoke puts them up to 7th. Crystal Palace down in 8th. Manchester City 9th. And our next opponents, I believe, Watford, they're holding up the top half of the table. West Bromwich Albion, Liverpool, Arsenal, Everton, Leicester, Swansea and Burnley all outside of the relegation zone in the bottom half. Some big names down there: Liverpool, Arsenal, Everton, Leicester, etc. And of course your bottom 3 are still your bottom 3: Aston Villa, Southampton and Reading. Reading have finally managed to pick up another win. It's only their 2nd of the season. They're down on 10 points. Southampton, of course, struggling. We played very well against them. They're there on 12 points. And Villa only in the relegation zone by goal difference, so not looking too bad for Villa if they can put a good run of form together. But that is going to be the end of today's episodes. Thank you so much for watching. Please do keep your support, dropping the likes on the video and letting me know that you're enjoying the series in the comments. So if you did enjoy, please do drop a like. Why not subscribe as well if you're new around here? And until next time, goodbye.